It's all allegations right now, but there's evidence apparently, so it doesn't look good.
Not true.
Based on what?
Based on the Cardinals are honest and good people. We don't need to cheat.
One of the oldest adages in sports is that no one will ever admit to it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. In the case of the St. Louis Cardinals baseball franchise, they may have taken this line to a new high or a new low, depending on how you view it, because this has taken the cheating out of just being a baseball issue and made it a federal case. Welcome back to the Hardline. Veteran broadcaster. He's worked for the Rockies, Mariners, Phillies, Mets, and the MLB Commissioner's Office. Seth Everett joins us. Seth, pleasure to have you on the show. Let's go ahead and dig in now. We have to find a gate reference to this somewhere. Maybe Hackgate might be a good way to do it. But here's the St. Louis Cardinals. They didn't really hack into the Houston Astros database. That's really the fun part of this. They knew the password for the guy who used to work for them. They went into it, and they did it from their house, whoever did it. So we're not talking about brain surgeons here, are we?
No, this conspiracy that the Cardinals have been trying to hack every team in Major League Baseball. I think the Phillies, the Pirates, the Reds, the Mets, they're all safe. I think that's okay. This was really just about a former employee, Jeff Luhnow, who left the Cardinals front office to become the general manager of the Houston Astros, and he didn't change his passwords. And they knew it. They were goofing on him. The strange part about it is you have to understand the malicious or lack of malicious intent in what they were doing. They were stealing some stuff, but then they promptly leaked it to Deadspin. This was stuff that we thought the Astros were just sloppy. Turns out the Astros are sloppy, but that the Cardinals were the culprit.
Well, when we talk about that, they did just use a password. It was from a former employee who then went to work for the Astros. So don't you think, at least from MLB's side and from the Cardinals side, they're going to say, wait a minute, we paid him. He built this as part of our organization, so this is ours in the first place. You know that's going to come up, whether it's legal or not, or it will make any sense.
Well, that's the best part about the FBI being involved, is that Major League Baseball doesn't have to do their own investigation. Major League Baseball can let the FBI find that out, do whatever sanctions or arrests or whatever's going to come about, and then Major League Baseball can look. If they find any kind of competitive advantage, I think the penalty system changes. Then you have to start talking about draft picks, and you start talking about suspensions, possibly in the Cardinals front office. That's where I think this could be going. But if everything I'm reading is true and everybody I'm talking to is saying that it was really just goofing on a former employee, I think it's more embarrassing for the Cardinals. And you know, the piece that you ran right before you came to me with the woman who's sitting there saying, that's not the Cardinal way. I want to say something to your country and to your audience.
Please do.
There is a big myth going on that people think the most obnoxious fans are Yankee fans and Red Sox fans. And I'm here to tell you, St. Louis, you are just as obnoxious.
So what do you base that on? Wait a minute, Seth, hang on. There's Cardinals fans out there right now that are going to be up in arms. What do you base that on?
Tweet me, @Seth_Everett. I'm ready for it. I've been getting it for years. No, the issue is, you know, because there's less media. You know, I started covering baseball in the 90s when there was literally one reporter that used to travel around with the Cardinals. It's a little more now in the information age, but there's not as much media. And so as a result of that, the Cardinal fans, unless you go in depth and get to know Cardinal fans, this sheer arrogance, the Cardinal way, the way they think everything is done in their system, they are not afraid to rub your nose in it. And that's what Red Sox and Yankee fans do. And so if we're going to sit here, and to me, this is a compliment to the city of St. Louis, that don't consider them a mid-level market. Don't worry that they're in the Midwest. They are just as obnoxious as Red Sox or Yankee fans.
So let's get down into the actual material that was allegedly stolen here. This is a special database. In your opinion here, is there anything that actually can change competitive balance and that is so critical, so important that it makes sense to steal?
Well, if you are telling other teams that, hey, they don't like this one player, lowball them, and maybe you can steal this player, or don't go for this pitcher because they don't think this guy's very good, that kind of stuff can be a competitive advantage. If there is evidence that shows that actual baseball decisions were made based on information they ascertained from this hack, then I think the penalty phase has changed. But if literally this was everything that they hacked, they put on Deadspin, we all saw it, we all knew that there was former deals, and really a lot of it was stuff from the past. It was deals that were almost made and trades that were investigated but never commenced. Those kinds of things were what really came down. If it's that, I think it's a different penalty.
All right, now, I only got 30 seconds left. Real quickly, what about the penalty? Potential penalty.
I would do 4 games and $1 million fine. Because if you deflate the baseballs, I understand that you can't get the lift the same way. Hacking and deflating are very similar. Let's give them the Tom Brady treatment.
I think that's brilliant, too.
Cardinal fans would have a petition. They would say, oh, my goodness, we have to free the Cardinal Nation. No, in all seriousness, I think they could lose draft picks, and I think their current general manager, John Mozeliak, could face a suspension.
No, wait a minute. You should have just stuck where you're at, because in all seriousness, I think the deflation of the baseballs actually was the right thing to say. Seeing is right now you are a marked man by Cardinals fans, which means I better not tell them I was covering the Red Sox when they beat them in St. Louis for the World Series. Oop, let's not do that. Seth, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us.
Ed, good talking to you.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you again. And we still haven't heard from Major League Baseball yet to see exactly what will happen if they deflate the baseballs. Do not deflate your expectations. The fastest 60 minutes of news, The Hard Line, continues.